What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and we are Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya.
Today, we're going to talk about a game with a unique theme. That game is Fast Sloths.
Fast Sloths was designed by Friedman Fries and published by Stronghold Games. Let's go to the table for a quick overview of how this game is played. Fast Sloths is a pick up and deliver game for 2 to 5 players where the players are sloths that are too lazy to go get their own food. This is the game board for Fast Sloths. There are different terrain types on the game board. You got forest, water, grassland, mountain. You got hills. You got these towns that are all over the board, as well as these bridges. And you also got these tree spots. And these tree spots, there are 9 of them on the board. To set up the game, each player will take the 9 leaves of their chosen color and place 1 leaf in each of these tree spots. So in a 3-player game, each tree spot will have 3 different colored leaves on it. Also, there are these animal tokens, and they're placed in certain areas on the board. If this is your first game, the rule book tells you the specific spots where you will place them. There are 12 animals that come with this game, but the rule book tells you to use the starting 6 animals. So you got your donkey, you got unicorn, crocodile, elephant, eagle, and ants. The other animals, you got your human, you got your jackrabbit, or the rabbits rather, giraffes, dolphin, orangutan, and the mountain goat. So pretty much what you're trying to do in this game, the players are sloths and they need to collect their food so they can eat it, but they're too lazy to go get it themselves. So they're depending on the animals to move them around the board. And how do you win the game is the first sloth who collects 8 leaves will win the game or trigger the end of the game. Make sure everybody has the same amount of turns. So once all the leaves have been placed on the board, we would choose the first player, and then the last player will take their sloth token and choose one of the tree spots on the board. They will place their sloth, let's say I pick this area here, and they will immediately gain this leaf, and they will place that leaf at the leftmost spot at the top of their player board. So now they have collected 1 leaf, they only got to collect 7 more. Once all the other players have placed their sloths, but they have to place them in different trees so everybody has a different start space, the game can begin. So on your turn, this shows what you can do. Wherever the leaf is, that shows what you can do on your turn. You can draw 3 cards. Then you can move your sloth. This is optional. And then you discard down to the hand side. So right now is you can only hold up to 7 cards. Before we do an example of a turn, let's look at the animal cards. These are the starting animal cards that the players will be using to move the animal tokens across the game board. These cards will be placed near the game board in reach of all players in stacks of ascending order based on their movement points at the top of the card. So the unicorn, 3, 4, 5, 5, so on. On the right of the card shows the terrain that that animal can travel through. And at the bottom of the card are special abilities or restrictions that the players have to pay attention to when moving that specific animal, which I'll go into that, some of them, in a little bit. So like I said, starting my turn, based on where the leaf is, I draw 3 cards. When drawing cards, I have to draw different cards. They cannot all be the same. So I can't draw 3 unicorns. So let's say I draw alligator, I give me an elephant, and I get an ant. So now I have the option of moving one of the animal tokens on the board. I decide not to do that because, I don't have enough cards in my hand. I want to move those animals. So then I would discard down to my hand size of 7. I only got 3 cards, so I don't need to worry about that. And then I will end my turn and play would go to the next player. Let's say later on in the game, this player here decides that they want to move the alligator. So they would take their alligator cards. When playing cards or moving animals, you can only play cards of one specific animal. So they decide that they're going to play these 3 gator cards. So that would give them 2, 4, 6 movement. But if you see this, that's +1. And that's just +1 once, not for each card. So this alligator would get 7 movement. So he would play those cards, and then this sloth would jump on this alligator. That doesn't cause a movement. And then they will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they got one more movement. But while that sloth is there, he can grab this leaf, and then the alligator will move 7. And then the sloth can either jump off in the same space, but he can't because sloths can't go in the water. And that sloth would go in this forest space right here. And then that player would take that leaf they just got and they will place it in the next space to the right of the first leaf they got. So now when they take their turn, beginning of their turn, they draw 3, but they got to discard 1. But their hand limit is still at 7. Let's say on the green player's turn, they decide that they want to use the elephant to move their sloth. So after drawing their cards, they decide to play these 2 cards. That will give them 4 movement points, but elephants are slow. So once you add that up, you get -1. So this is actually 3 movement points. So they will place their sloth on that elephant. That doesn't cost anything. And they move the elephant 1, 2, 3. Now when the elephant ends its movement in a space, it has a special ability where it throws whatever sloth is carrying an extra 3 spaces. So once this elephant stops, he throws the sloth 1, 2, 3, and the sloth ends its movement way over there. So let's say on the green player's next turn, they decide that they want to use the ants to move their sloth. So after drawing their 3 cards, they decide that they're going to play these 2 ant cards. And that's going to give them a movement of 4. Thing about the ants though, the ants, you have to move the ants first. And then the ants carry you, over to where you need to go. So I got 4 movement points. I moved this ant 1, 2. And now that the ants are here, I take my sloth and move it over the ants 3. I'm not going to use my 4th movement point because I'm where I need to be. And I grab this leaf and I put it on my player board. Let's say on a later turn, the green player has collected enough cards where they decide to use the eagle to come get their sloth. So when playing the eagle cards, there's a special requirement. You have to have a minimum of 6 movement points in order to use the eagle. The green player has 7 movement points. So he will play these cards, and the eagle will come from wherever it is on the board. The eagle is way up there. So the eagle will just come down, land near your sloth jumps on, and then move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 land. Your sloth jumps out, collect this leaf, and then you will put it on that. The green player will put this on their player board, and that's a general idea of how some of the animals move in this game. So now the green player has collected their fourth leaf, and they're halfway to 8. Now on their next turn, they draw 2 cards, and their hand limit is 6. So as you can see, the more leaves you get, the more difficult it is to keep those cards in your hand to move your sloth around. But that's pretty much the game. You're drawing cards, spinning those cards to move animals across the board, picking up your leaves until somebody has 8 leaves, and that will signify the end of the game. And everybody will get equal amount of turns, and whoever has 8 leaves will be the winner of Fast Sloths. So let's jump right to it. What did you think of Fast Sloths?
Okay, at first, the 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 name just confused me. Fast sloths. That didn't make sense. But then when you explain it's not the sloths that are moving fast, I was like, okay, we can work with that.
Yeah, it's a pick up and deliver game. And I played other pick up and deliver games, but this is the first one that I played where the players are the item that's being picked up and delivered. So I thought that theme just stood out. I'm like, I want to see what this game is about. So, what do you think about the components?
Okay, the components are basic, but I do like the leaves.
Yeah, I do like the little wooden leaves, the detail in the leaves and stuff. But like you said, it is a basic game. It's an abstract racing game, but it does the job. What do you think about the art?
I like the art. The art is whimsical, it's cartoony, and it fits the theme of the game.
Yeah, the art does fit the theme of the game. Because, I mean, if this had been a game about trading in the Mediterranean or whatever, that art would have been like, what are they doing? But you're playing, you're a sloth trying to get their food. This art fits this game. It's really Looney Tunes type, you know, quirky. I love the art.
Yes.
I like it
Yes.
because it fits the game.
Yes.
But what did you think about the mechanics?
So I like the mechanics. Pick up and deliver is something I haven't played before, so this is new to me. I like it. Hand management, I like that. And of course, it's a race, so I love racing.
Yeah, racing games are fun, you know. So, yeah, the car hand management, knowing how to play the cars, I like that in this game. And like I said, I do like pick up and deliver. Um, what do you think about the teach?
So I think this game is reasonably easy to teach and reasonably easy to learn. Um, I think with a little practice, even kids could master this game.
Yeah, I think the hard part of this game is to wrap your mind around how the different animals move on the board. So you definitely have to pay attention to that, especially those ants. Like all the other animals are carrying you across the board, but the ants, they lift you to different spots on the board. So they just not gonna carry you across the board. So I think once people get past that, then this game is just easy.
I agree with you. You do have to pay attention to the way the different animals move, but it matches the way these animals move in real life. And even kids know how animals move because kids are fascinated with the natural world. So I think that just adds an element of fun for them.
Yeah, I don't think they know about sloths though.
You'd be surprised.
So overall, how did you like this game?
I enjoyed this game. It's cute, it's charming, It's light, it's fun. It's definitely a family weight game.
Yeah, this game was a lot of fun. I really, the people that I've introduced this game to have really enjoyed this game, and it's just a light game.
Yes.
Really light game. Like you said, kids can play it, and I really enjoyed this game.
Yes, this is a fun game.
So Fast Sloths for us is definitely a keeper in our collection. If you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And like we said, Fast Sloths, we love it. Just so you know, next week is the Easter weekend, so we're going to be taking a break. So you will see us back here in 2 weeks. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
We are Blackboard Gaming, and we will see you next time.